Huge Big 12 clash going on in Salt Lake City, Utah, as the Cincinnati Bearcats travel all the way from Ohio to Utah to take on Devon Dampier and this Utah Utes squad. I think it's going to be a great game. It's a late night kick for those living in Central or Eastern time. Starts at 9:15 Central, 10:15 Eastern, and I think it's a 7:15 local kick. So normal time for the Utah fans, but late for us. I can't wait to stay up and watch this game. Should be a lot of fun. I think if Cincinnati wins this game, they can really make a overwhelming case that they might easily make the Big 12 championship game. This is one of the most challenging games on their schedule, and they're still undefeated in Big 12 play. So a lot on the line for the Bearcats. College game day is in Utah, which I think it's an interesting choice for them to go there. There's some other big games I might have gone to over this one, but it should be interesting. Utah is coming off just an absolute slaughtering of Colorado, and the week before that, lost to BYU. Week before that, absolute slaughtering against Arizona State. So if we got slaughter, loss, maybe they lose this game. If you're looking at the trend that way, this is the first ever meeting between the Utes and the Bearcats. Not surprised because why on earth would they ever play each other? But now they're in the same conference, so it is 2025, folks. We are living with Utah and Cincinnati in the same conference, and honestly, I'm not mad about it because it's going to be a fun game. Um, I look at this game, and I think a lot of people are going to say it's going to be low scoring. A lot of people watch the Cincinnati-Nebraska game at the beginning of the year, where Cincinnati lost 17-14, and a lot of people watched the Utah-Texas Tech game, and they saw Utah really struggle on offense and play pretty good defense for the most part of that game. And I might say to yourself, you know what? I think this is going to be a low scoring game. I think the defenses are going to show up and they're going to play big kahuna football. Well, I think this is going to be a high scoring game, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think that either team has been very good at stopping the run this year. I think that I doubt Utah's front seven a little bit. I mean, if we look at Cincinnati's offense, they've been great this year. I mean, Brennan Sorsby has thrown one interception in the first game of the season. So he's gone 7 straight games. By the way, Cincinnati's won 7 straight. And in that win streak, Brennan Sorsby has not thrown an interception. So that's really, really solid. He's taking care of the ball. It's really not an easy thing to do in football to throw 0 interceptions through 7 games. And Sorsby's done it. His receivers have been great. They've been explosive. I think this offense is going to score. I think they're very consistent. I trust them. I trust the Cincinnati offense, especially against what I think is a little bit of a weak Utah front seven. Again, I just think they're going to have flow and stability, and I also think Utah's offense is going to have flow and stability. I mean, we saw what they did against Colorado. We saw what they did against Arizona State. They were able to move the football at alarming rates, and I do trust the Bearcats to be slightly more explosive than Utah. I think Utah is also going to be stable and consistent. I think Cincinnati they do a much better job at the explosive plays. We saw that against Iowa State. They just have some athletes, and not that Utah's defense doesn't have some athletes, but Cincinnati generates big plays much more consistently than Utah does, whereas Utah likes those long drives. So I just think it's going to be a fun game. I mean, late night kick on ESPN, sort of Pac-12 after dark vibes in this one. You get the red and black with Cincinnati against the red and black from Utah. I'm excited to watch it. I think it's gonna be one of the most fun games to watch this week, and it's kind of a must-win game for both teams if you look at it. I mean, of course, Utah is already 6-2, so if they lose this game, they've got 3 losses, all in the Big 12. So you can kiss your Big 12 playoff hopes goodbye. And there's no way a 3-loss Big 12 team is getting an at-large bid. So if Utah loses this football game, their season is definitely over, if it's not already. And if you look at Cincinnati, they have the loss to Nebraska. If they lose this one, they could still make the Big 12 championship game, but it's not going to be easy. You got to win out. Whereas if you win, it gives yourself much more cushion. And it's not technically a must-win for Cincinnati because they can still win the Big 12 even if they lose this game. But it sort of feels like it, you know? It feels like if Cincinnati goes on the road to Utah and they lose this game, it feels like their season is just going to kind of crumble. And I don't want that for this team because I really like this team. So I went both ways with this matchup. I look at both teams and I say Cincinnati, generate those explosive plays, but Utah has just been talented, and FPI loves them, and ESPN loves them, and the power ratings love them. But at the end of the day, I am taking the quarterback that I trust more. I'm taking the offense that I trust more late in a close game. And to me, that's the Cincinnati Bearcats. I think Devon Dampier has been very turnover prone. I think Utah's offense as a whole has been turnover prone. They've been messy. And I can just see Brendan Sorsby at the end of the game winning it with his arm, winning it with his legs. And I've got Cincinnati winning a really fun one on the road, getting their biggest win of the year, I guess you could say. Maybe Iowa State, but huge win for Cincinnati. I think Will also has Cincinnati. He does. So we're both going Bearcats. Bearcats, if they win, stay undefeated in the Big 12. And I think that'd be really cool. And how about Cincinnati being relevant in college football, being 7-1, whereas Wisconsin is just in the pits right now with Luke Fickell, their old coach. So great stuff for Cincinnati. It'd be awesome if they won this game, and I'm taking them to do so on the road. Big time win for the Bearcats. At least that's what I predict. But should be a fun one. Should be a fun one at night in Utah.